There's only one difference between these two pizzas. It's the crust. This is a regular pizza, and this is a tortilla pizza. So just by switching out the crust for a tortilla, you're already saving like up to 1,000 calories, which is kind of crazy. It's also really quick to make. This is faster than even a frozen pizza. And the reason that I like them so much is because I can't eat wheat and dairy, and it is so easy to get gluten-free options for a tortilla. I'm going through a little bit of a tortilla pizza phase right now, so I want to show you 3 of my favorites that I will definitely be making this week. And let's just start with my go-to. I call it my 7-minute pizza. Let's make some pizzas. Make some pizza! If you've ever tried to make a tortilla pizza before, you may have noticed that tortillas are kind of floppy. So I want to show you how to get a really nice crispy crust. Okay, this is my crispy crust tip number 1. If you put an oven tray in the oven right as you start preheating the oven, the tray is going to get nice and hot, and then your tortilla base is going to get nice and crispy. So that is what we're doing. The oven and tray are both preheated, so adding a baking sheet and a tortilla to the tray, using 2 tablespoons of marinara sauce for the pizza sauce, spreading it around, with half a cup of mozzarella, in my case vegan mozzarella, and for the toppings, some fresh arugula, which is kind of like an unexpected new pizza favorite of mine, and a few cherry tomatoes sliced in half. Then I saved a little bit of the mozzarella to add on after the toppings, just to make it feel extra cheesy, and finishing it off with some herbs. I like to use some oregano, thyme, basil, whatever I have that's somewhat Italian, and a bit of black pepper. Look at that. It's quite hot, so use some oven mitts. 7 minutes and counting. And get ready to see the most skew-cut pizza ever. Ta-da! A very skew pizza. If Mexico and Italy had a baby, it would be this. A tortilla pizza. Oh, I'm surprised every time. That's good. So this is a great everyday kind of a pizza. If you're looking for something a little bit more gourmet though, I want to show you this topping combination that I've discovered recently. I also want to show you how to get an extra crispy crust. So there's nothing wrong with this crust, but we're gonna make an extra crispy crust in this next one. Crispy crust tip number 2. So I've got an oven safe pan here. You can either use a cast iron one or a non-stick pan. Adding a little spray of oil. I'm making the pizza on top of the tortilla while the bottom of the tortilla is crisping up in the pan. I just cook it on low while I add the toppings. And on this one, I'm using 2 tablespoons of tomato paste as the pizza sauce, spreading it around a bit with the back of a spoon, and adding half a cup of dairy-free mozzarella again with a little bit of baby spinach, a little spinach leaf. Then adding some grilled chicken, about 1/3 cup. This helps to make it feel more filling, make it feel more like a complete meal, so I like to add it. And then this is one of my favorite pizza toppings right now. Sun-dried tomatoes. They add so much flavor. I use about 3 from a jar, sliced into smaller pieces. And lastly, some very thinly sliced onion. Get that on the top. And I did save a little bit of the mozzarella again to add on at the end. I like a double cheese layer. And the tortilla's been crisping up in the pan for about 5 minutes, so let's get it in the oven. When I use the pan method like this, I like to use the broil on the oven and grill the top of the cheese for like 2 to 3 minutes. It melts really quickly when you use the grill. Just careful when you take that pan out the oven, the handle's going to be really hot, so just make sure you use oven mitts. You gotta look at this. It's juiciness. Woo. Look at this crispy crust. Look at that crispy crust. Once it's out the oven, I like to finish it off with some black pepper and some herbs like oregano, thyme, basil, and I love to add a little drizzle of balsamic glaze. I recently discovered this and it is amazing. It's incredible. Highly recommend it. Oh, that balsamic glaze. That balsamic glaze, those sun-dried tomatoes. This is an amazing gourmet option. If you want something that's completely cheeseless and also something that's lower calorie, I'm gonna show you what I do instead. Crispy crust tip number 3. We're gonna do the same thing again. We got the pan, we're gonna spread it with a bit of oil, get the tortilla in, and then we're going to put a little bit of oil around the edges of the tortilla to give it an even crispier crust. Just don't burn your fingers while you do this. My pan isn't hot yet. I'm using marinara sauce for the pizza sauce again, 2 tablespoons of that. And my favorite topping for a cheese-free pizza is probably roasted vegetables. I love to use up my leftover roasted vegetables this way. I have roasted onion and roasted red bell pepper here. Adding about a cup of that and spreading it out. And then the moment you've all been waiting for, the cheese-free cheese. It's nutritional yeast, which is definitely not real cheese, but it adds a cheesy sort of flavor. I do find it quite salty, so I only use about half a tablespoon, but I find that a little bit really goes a long way with nutritional yeast, and it only adds 18 calories to the pizza instead of 160 calories for the mozzarella. Then I love adding some chili flakes to a cheese-free pizza like this. It goes amazing with the roasted vegetables, and it gives it that little kick that I feel it needs. Some dried herbs, of course, oregano, thyme, basil, whatever you have that's somewhat Italian will be good. And look at that crispy base. It is ready to go in the oven. I just do like 2 to 4 minutes under the grill for a cheese-free pizza. You can check the edges of the crust. It should be going nice and brown. Crispy crust. That is a crispy crust. To finish this one off, I like to add a little bit of olive oil, just like a teaspoon. It adds the greasiness that you'd usually get from cheese on a pizza. I know that sounds weird, but it really makes a difference. We need some basil. Fresh basil. You don't need fresh basil, but I feel like something like fresh basil or arugula or spinach is always nice on top of a cheese-free pizza like this. And slice it up. This whole pizza is like 290 calories. And then this is optional, but avocado does go really nicely on top of this. It adds a bit of creaminess. Honestly, you don't even really need it, but I'm just showing you some different options. That is a good crust. Honestly, I don't even feel like I'm missing the cheese on this one. It is so good with just the chili flakes and the roasted vegetables and the basil and the nutritional yeast. There's so much flavor. The textures are so good. Who needs the cheese? I'm gonna have all these recipes on my blog that's linked below with the calories and everything. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.